final score on the scoreboard. I know how the game ends. I know how this will ultimately, I can't tell you how we're going to get through the 45 minutes of the second half and exactly who's going to play what position and score what goal, but I know how it ends. Kosovo taking its place, being a member of the European Union, being a member of NATO, that's our long-term strategic goal. And so we're not neutral on this. We haven't been. We strongly encourage this government now to work with us and the European Union to implement fully the obligations it's entered into under the basic agreement, the implementation annex, just as we have this conversation with Serbia to advance this vision.
Yeah, Mr. Ambassador, we saw big disbelief from Prime Minister Kurti towards Mr. Miroslav Lajçak, the official mediator towards the dialogue between Kosovo and Serbia. How do you see those comments from Kurti towards Mr. Lajçak?
You know, I've been asked about this before, and I think I will let my previous remarks stand, which is just simply that the United States has full confidence in Miroslav Lajçak as the special representative for the Serbia-Kosovo normalization, and we support him.
Kurti thinks that Lajçak is supporting Serbia.
I'm aware of what he has said. I can just repeat that he enjoys our full support.
If the actual process, Mr. Ambassador, mediated by the European Union, potentially fails, do you see a possibility for organizing international conference similar to Dayton, a forum that could open a new and old ideas maybe, like land swaps or border changes?
So let me address the second part of that question first, you know, the question of land swaps or possible border changes. And you know, my understanding is this would only work if there were popular support on both sides for it. I do not believe that to be the case. I do not believe, is my understanding, there's not support in both populations for such a thing. And so I think it's off the table, and certainly for my government is off the table. More broadly, with regard to, you know, the hypothetical question, I don't know that it's, I mean, I tend not to answer hypothetical questions, but I would say that I don't know that we're at a place where we would need something like that. We have a very good agreement between Kosovo and Serbia. If you read the basic agreement and the Ohrid implementation annex, there's an awful lot of very good commitments made. That's the sort of thing you would normally work on in a Dayton-like setting. We don't need to work on reaching principles of what needs to be agreed. We have a very good agreement. We need to work on something different, and that is both sides finding the political will to do the very hard work of implementation. And that's a different thing. So we will continue working on that. I can only say again the view of the United States, but also the view as I understand it from Chancellor Scholz and President Macron and Prime Minister Maloney and other friends of Kosovo, to encourage this government to take this moment in time and this opportunity represented by their engagement to implement fully all of their obligations. For Kosovo, that does mean moving forward now with this draft statute and establishing the Association of Serb Majority Municipalities. And as the European leader says, for Serbia, that means delivering on the de facto recognition that is also as part of this package of commitment.